Now, do you want your antique treasures restored to their former glory? Well, luckily, our antiques expert James Hogan is here to help, and master restorer Jonathan Mays as well. Welcome, both of you. Well, I'll start with you first of all.
That's
because
very formal. I'll start with you.
I'll start with you,
okay.
James. It's because of these chairs. They're putting me off. They're so elegant.
No, these are wonderful. We brought these in, and a great thing to reference with Jonathan because these need a lot of work. These are really early, 18th century. I think Italian. Some people are saying Dutch. I think they're definitely Italian. And circa 1720. And these chairs are absolutely stunning. But you can see
1720.
1720. So, you know, they're getting on in age. But they've really had a bit of a tough life. And this is the interesting thing about these. You can see that these have had some really early repairs on here. These lovely, big, thick metal straps that they've put on just to strengthen the chair through the years. But as they stand now, they're pretty fragile. A beautiful object that really needs a lot of work.
Where would... presumably these were obviously shipped out to New Zealand, and most of our antique chairs would have had a similar story.
Well, interesting. These have travelled from Italy up to England. Right. So they would have been bought in an antique shop probably 100 years ago or so. From England, they've found their way out to New Zealand, and they were actually shipped as part of an inheritance. And they've come, and the vendor's thinking, well, these are fairly fragile. I'm probably a little bit scared to live with these. So what do? Kept a couple, and these have, come to be presented for auction.
So presumably these would have been a set of 4 or 6 or 8.
Well, there were 7 originally, all slightly different.
4, 6, 8, and it has to be 7, doesn't it? Why 7?
Well, there would have been lots. They probably would have come from a set of around 12 originally.
Right. Okay.
These are really serious chairs for their day. The average person didn't go out and say, look, I want 12 chairs with all this beautiful ivory inlay in here. So a huge amount of work, but.
They are
very fragile.
How can I tell? I mean, you're circa 1720, probably from Italy, maybe from maybe they're of Dutch origin.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
For me, I'd walk in there and I could probably buy a 1980s repro without even really knowing.
Yeah, look, there's some very good reproductions out there, but I mean, a chair like this, it's so obvious. I mean, you can see that this is really. It's got age, it's got that patina. You can't easily fake this. No. And just the construction, what they've used to actually construct the chair.
So talk me through that then. So just looking under there, right? If I'm in the market, then
well,
I'm looking for...
if you've got, metal straps that look new...
Metal's a no-no.
Yeah, well, not necessarily. I mean, they did use metal as they've done in this repair. There's obviously pieces here that have been replaced over the years. That's not as old as this one here. So it has had work. But overall, this chair, you can just see that it's got that sort of age.
What about, like... Often it's the case, Rod, of looking actually behind the object or underneath it. You actually see more of the age.
True.
Right. What about dowels and things like that, Jonathan? Is that important in the construction, like dovetailing and things like that, whereas people would fire a screw in now?
Yeah. I mean, these will all be mortise and tenoned in here. But you can see hand tool marks. So that's pit sawing marks there, so that's a good sign of age. You don't see buzzer marks, or if those tool marks were horizontal like that and perfectly regular, that would indicate a bandsaw.
Okay.
So this is all hand cut, a couple of poor bastards in a pit, cutting the thing up.
See, this is the experience.
I know.
And this piece here, which you actually look at the difference, you can see that this is contemporary. This is new.
So it's your unenviable task, Jonathan, to try and restore this. And I have to say, I've offended James a couple of times already this morning, which we normally do, don't I? But I did say this is firewood. Really? In all honesty? It's broken. Look, it's broke. I don't know if you can see that. It's smashed across there. It feels really flimsy.
Well, it's a very decorative, pretty chair, and it's not even, I don't see the camera here, it's not the optimal way for a chair to go. There's no... it's already tilting back over, it's not the most stable thing. So probably being Italian, it's probably a bit more style over substance in a way.
Definitely.
It's part of the...
That's the aesthetic more than the
functionality.
That's right.
So how do you go about restoring it? For example, pick a piece, maybe...
Yeah, so that there, for example, this all would dismantle. I mean, it depends. These chairs actually have a really nice, nice look, so it's important not to go too far. So you could actually... completely, I could spend 3 weeks working on this chair, but you actually wouldn't want to do that because it actually got quite a nice battered look. But what you really want to be able to do is actually use the thing. So yeah, you want to fix that, but you take this off here. That's all quite doable. Undo those. Take this apart, repair it nicely, stick it back together. The idea is to kind of undo a lot of restoration, and also not sort of show that it's been done. Undoing bad stuff, undoing nasty stuff, stuff that sort of threatens its sort of use as a chair itself. but makes it usable and desirable, so you're not actually looking at that and going, oh, it's kind of like a broken headlight on a car. All you look at is the broken headlight. You eliminate the problems like that, and you just see the overall effect. Do
you fill these bits and pieces then, or do you just, I mean, do you use modern techniques as well to restore something that's an antique?
I do everything quite traditionally, so, and it's often the case it's quicker to do stuff by hand anyway, like, so one of these is missing, or perhaps it's on the other chair. So for that there, that's a piece of ivory. Now the quickest way to fix that is get a little jeweler's saw and cut it out. You can actually do that quite quick. You don't need to go set up some machinery. So then stick it in with some animal glue. And animal glue was used from ancient Egyptian times right up until the 1950s.
Right.
So it's really only then that modern glues have come in. And the nice thing about that is you could stick that back onto there, and it will bind perfectly with the old animal glue that's already there, been there for 300 years, and they just kind of fuse together. So if you do it in sympathy with the thing, it makes a lot of sense to it.
Is the bane of your life DIY repairs?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thought it might be.
And Kiwis are the worst. If this was restored in New Zealand, you'd probably find a few nails in there.
What about Bora? Just very quickly, it's the bane of a lot of our lives. Is there anything you can do about it?
Well, it depends on the wood. These are walnut. Bora love walnut. They love rimu as well. You know, if you go to someone's house, some of the floorboards are all eaten up. Some of them are perfect. Yeah, it's just they like the sappy, but they like sappy walnut. But I always say, these are 300 years old. Don't worry about it.
Okay, we've got to go. What are they worth now? What will they be worth when the restoration's complete?
Look, as they are, they're 12 to 1600 a pair.
Really?
Restored up, they're certainly a lot more functionable, a lot more presentable to the marketplace.
It's still your department.
Retail, let's go to retail, you could be paying anywhere between $3.5 to $5 a pair.
No way! Goodness me. Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
If you have precious pieces at home that you'd like to check out the restoration, you can contact James via our links on the website. Coming up, we learn about the difficulties of living with a speech disorder. I'll give you a hand now to take these away if they're worth that much.